This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Los Angeles Rams and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Los Angeles Rams. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Kai Forbath set to kick it away for the Vikings. And off we go from the Twin Cities. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
They go play action here on first down. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Well, good luck there as a ball carrier. You get handed that football, look up, oh, there's a big D tackle ready to swallow you whole for a loss.
Yeah, you kind of count on your guys to give you at least a little bit of time, a little bit of space to try and maneuver, but not on that one. And when you have a defensive tackle who is that strong, that agile, he's a lot to deal with. Sometimes you have to double him, and sometimes you're not able to block him no matter who's trying.
Now Goff. Throw left side, complete to Cup. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Goff on 3rd down. They'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Here we go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That goes for a gain of 31. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far in the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Gurley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he'll take this one down near the 15. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Out of the gun, Goff. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And out now come the Vikings. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
They've got to do a better job up front and create some space because they're right there, almost literally on their own goal line.
Just a couple of feet away from a safety. That could have been disastrous. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he's not going to get out of the end zone. Murray is taken down for the safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. So after the loss of 2, here's 2nd and 12 from the 23. Here's Goff now on 2nd down. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They end up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. It's the Rams out to the early lead. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment. Back live now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. Marcus Sherrill's back deep for Minnesota. This is taken around the 12. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And a safety the last go-around. That's how we arrived at this 2-0 score. Let's see if they can respond.
Such an oddity, isn't it? See those 2 points go up on the board knowing
Looks like
that
soccer.
Exactly. And knowing that you did it to give those points up for your team. Now they're just looking to get back out on the field and make up for it.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle.
Here we go, Al. Tight is right. The hard. 180. We got 3.
2nd down, Cousins. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking 1st down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A first down throw for Cousins. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee?
Holding. Offense.
That one whistled against a big right
Still
tackle.
2nd down.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Cousins again. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Play fake, Cousins. The catch is made by Kendall Wright. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A very solid gain of 27. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's hit on all 6 of his throws on this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. The tackle there by Mark Barron.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6. So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. From the red zone now, Cousins. And it's caught. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Now Cousins. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. From the gun, here's Cousins. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
3rd and goal. This L.A. Rams defense will try to bow up once more. Now Cousins. That's caught at the 3. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kyle Rudolph as the 1st half is winding down. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And nowadays in NFL football, you have to account for all the receivers, sure, but the tight end's such a weapon, and they prove it right there.
Oh, without a doubt. And we're seeing now the golden age of tight ends catching the football. I go back to Kellen Winslow. To me, he was a prototype of what we're seeing today. We're seeing it each and every week now.
Kai Forbath on for the extra point. Forbath able to convert the extra point, and the lead is up to 5. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Forbath out to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as it brings us to the end of the first half. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gott.
The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And it's 2nd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Handoff comes to Cook. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Pretty shifty footwork, but didn't buy him much. There to make the tackle, Samson Abuka.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. That's going to be caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There's obviously nothing shy about the guys dialing up offense here. They take a shot on 3rd down, and boy, did they get rewarded, even though there was good defense on the play.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Now they'll run. Murray. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Latavius Murray taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
Well, Brandon, he just followed his nose, and his nose took him to the end zone. But how about the big guys up front? Give him at least a stalemate in order to find that space.
Yeah, the O-line won the battle in the trenches there, didn't they? Forbath to add the extra point. Forbath, the extra point, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. So that drive, 4 plays, and it culminates with a Latavius Murray touchdown run. Forbath out to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now a first down throw, gone. He gets it to Gurley, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Goff turns and gives to Gurley. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's a loss of 8 yards there to bring up third.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Third and long. It's gone. And this is going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Here's Sherrills. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, It's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They start the drive with Cook. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
That was an example of excellent defense there. They stuffed him. So now it brings up a 3rd down situation. If I'm calling plays here, I make sure I put it in the hands of my quarterback and get it to a receiver real fast. I'm not running the ball here.
The Vikings on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Cousins. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Here's Ryan Quigley now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Now coming out on the field.
They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of 1st downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 1st downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
On 2nd down, here's Goff. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll try to run it in with Murray. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
When you're trying to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
Cousins now on 2nd down. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen from 10 yards out. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Now Forbath for the extra point. Forbath able to convert the extra point, and that will make this a 19-point game. They have the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Forbath out to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 21. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Like 20.
Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. On first down, it's gone. And his throw is incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Back to the air. Goff on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. The Rams on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. On the draw, Goff gives to Gurley. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. Goff and his guys not coming off the field. They're going for this. Desperation time for Goff on 4th. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. Looking for Woods that time. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
On first down, Murray. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover Gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
On the ground, it's Cook. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Again, it's Cook. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down. So on now is Kai Forbath. If you're wondering, he's hit from as far as 57. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Forbath now to kick it away after the made field goal. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And the Rams getting set to go now. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Kupp. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now whistles and a flag down. I think one of the Rams linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
Still 2nd down.
The false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on 2nd down. A shotgun snap for Goff. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The Rams on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Goff. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Goff now 9 of 17 through the air. Throwing again is Goff. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They begin the drive with a run by Murray. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Back to the ground, this time Cook. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Not a whole lot of room to maneuver there, and I think that's because everyone took care of their responsibilities, filled their gaps, held their place. No place for him to run.
Yeah, looked good. Everything got funneled to the nose tackle. They swallowed him up. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
I know where we're headed on this. Terrific catch, gets his feet down, sets up a 4th down and short situation. But I bet we're wondering, why didn't he get to the 1st down marker running his route? Am I correct?
You got to know where the marker is, right?
Got to figure it out. I know every receiver is taught that. Sometimes circumstances change it. At least they have an opportunity to make a decision with not much yardage to go.
One last throw here for Goff. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is dropped and incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone as time has run out on this ball game. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.